next one, we've always operated under this idea of more leads equals more growth. But is that really reflective today, or even going forward? Will marketers still optimize for lead volume? What will be the North Star metric in 2030?
Surprisingly, I think today we still see that many companies, many brands have lead volume or fixed cost per lead programs as their main KPIs. They're just needing to fill the amount of lead volume in order to keep their call center busy. I think we've seen a shift throughout the last couple of years, where throughout the state of the industry findings, we've seen that shift from lead volume 5-6 years ago to much more, I would say, quality KPI metrics. And think about return of investment, think about the customer lifetime value, think about everything that's related really in terms of generating the right customer. And I think that trend will continue in the next 5 years. If we look ahead to 2030 or even after that, I think those quality metrics will be as important as they are today, and probably more important because of all the tools that will be available at that point. I think there's going to be a lot of change if you think about how a lead is going through a sales funnel today, where if we think very simplistically, where a lead becomes a MQL, marketing qualified lead, goes to a SQL, sales qualified lead, I think that whole funnel might change pretty drastically. And obviously AI is going to play a really large part in that within the qualification process, but really pushing, I think, the consumer through the funnel with more automation. We've seen already a little bit of a shift of brands putting more of an e-commerce play to the front. And we've seen that both in home services, we've seen that in mortgage, we've seen that in health. But I think the trend will be super important in terms of like really having that consumer being pulled through the funnel. And maybe there's going to be a completely new metric that companies are optimizing towards too. Maybe it's going to be an AI qualified leads versus a sales or marketing qualified leads, which I think will be really interesting to think about. But yes, those quality metrics, we think those will continue, and maybe a lead, the definition of a lead will just completely change, and maybe it's going to be much more towards a qualified lead than what we're used to today.